here at Santa Pod's Ultimate Street Car for round 4 of the 2015 Miller's Oils Jap Drag Series. USC is the biggest modified event of the year and features Rung What You Brung, Show and Shine, drift demos and of course the competition race classes. Qualifying is scheduled throughout Saturday with a final session on Sunday morning before we go into eliminations proper. As at the Jap show, we'll be running the street and pro classes separately, with David Greenolsh returning to his regular street class after winning in pro at that last round. At the moment, it's uncertain if his main competition in the points table will make the event, with Jeff Ludgate suffering engine problems at the recent 10 of the Best event. Let's hope he makes it out. This round sees another new competitor joining the ranks in the pro class in the form of David NICOL.
Yeah, well, my name's David NICOL. I'm new to drag racing, really. I've been building the car for about 2.5 years. It's got a hell of a lot of pedigree. The chassis came from an older car from Jap Series, also known as Daywalker, and now it's been built into a Mark IV Supra running the standard 2JZ with a big HKS turbo. I was invited along trying to get the series going, but I normally compete in Pro ET, which is pro bracket racing.
So we're starting off with a few runs from qualifying session 1. Mark Moseley in the left lane with the Skyline and Steve Bowen in the right lane with the 4-wheel drive Mitsubishi Evo. Both these two compete in the pro class, with Mark's machine a proven 8-second performer. Steve is still chipping away at the times, but he's looking for solid 9s now and would love to get into those 8s. Off they go then, and Steve well out of shape, in fact actually crossing the centre line just there, which of course means that this time will be disregarded. Mark obviously coming off the power as he saw Steve heading into his lane. So what's Steve got to say about that run?
Yeah, basically I got to the line. I said on a mid-launch, obviously once the lights changed I let it go and it just shot straight to the left. Very surprisingly he went over the second line, over the centre line, which I was disqualified for that run. Basically the next qualifying round now, which is at 135, I'm going to drop the launch down, obviously not to give it such a bit aggressive pull off the mark, and hopefully I'll get it a bit straighter and continue a good weekend.
And preparing for his first run in class is Dave NICOL.
So I'm running a little bit slower than the other guys, quite a lot slower than the other guys in that way, but the difference is that we've already had one guy break today running, he's an 8-second car, but I can quite happily run 10s all day long. The Supra actually started off as my everyday road car, and then that was a naturally aspirated 3-litre, and then I put the twin turbo engine in it, and then I kind of discovered drag racing really. I'm still learning, I've got a hell of a lot to learn. The car's got so much more potential to go give in it. We're only running 1 bar of boost. We'll easily take that up to 1.6, 1.7, so and we're already at 500 at the wheels, and it only weighs a tonne, so it's a light car.
And he debuts with an 11.16. On to street now, and next out is Brent Crooks in the Garage Bomber Skyline. This car is genuinely driven on the street, admittedly without the nitrous connected, and due to safety equipment specs is not yet being pushed as hard as it could be. Off he goes then. He'll be hoping for an ET nearer the 10-second mark. Up through the gears and up to the line in a 12.3. But back in the pits, there are problems for Mark Moseley.
Yeah, we had all plans to go well. We've got another head on the car, another set of cams, fixed all that problem, and now it seems on the first run we've done a rod bearing. So we're kind of out of the game. Yeah, I think pushing the boundaries on the cars, we're all pushing hard on boost and power with these cars now, and they are on the limit. And normally, we don't have this many problems, but it seems this year we're plagued with problems.
No sign of David Greenolsh in that last session, so how does him swapping classes last event affect the championship's points position?
Well, after the last round when I ran in the pro class rather than the street class, Jeff obviously was able to capitalise on that, and he's put himself 160 points in front of me. But obviously coming here today for Ultimate Street Car, hopefully if I qualify well and do well in the eliminators, I'll be able to make up the points difference with Jeff and go back into the lead again on the street championship.
Into session 2 now, and that's Steve Bowen in the right lane. and David NICOL in the left. Steve hoping for a much straighter launch this time round, and as he said, using a bit less boost off the line. Here we go then, and just the right amount of spin from all 4 tyres. That's much better for Steve, storming through now, and up he goes, up to the line, stopping the clocks with a 9.74 at 141 miles per hour, 11.16 for Dave NICOL in the Supra, virtually the same as last time out. Well, David looking like he's not going to stop after that burnout there, shooting off the line there. I think his tyres will actually have gone cold again before he gets back to the line. The theory is, of course, not only will it heat up the tyres, but also lay down a strip of hot sticky rubber across the start line to maximise traction. Well, he's up against Brent Crooks in the left lane, and interestingly, both of these cars are maintained by Brent's company, SMD. Neither of these drivers bothered about reaction times here, just wanting to get the car settled. David building his boost, holding it there a little bit. Looking much better for Brent here as he goes up to the line and crossing in a 10.26 135.
Yeah, I mean, we've had a sort of problem with race fuel in the sense that there doesn't seem to be any in the UK at the moment. We're in the last sort of dregs of what we had in stock, basically. So we're saving that for the qualies and the finals this afternoon, well, tomorrow afternoon. So this morning, we've been running on road fuel actually, and the car's not mapped for launch control either. So my first attempt off the line was a bit of a bog, but obviously second time out I managed to get it off the line a bit better, just running out on the clutch basically. But yeah, 10.2 on road fuel with no launch control. I'm pretty happy with that really. Just get my times in today.
And it must be quite strange working on his opponent's machine between races.
So basically we're SMD. We look after both of David's cars, both the blue one and the silver car. So David was kind enough at the beginning of the season to let me race his silver car or his spare car. But yeah, we do all the maintenance on the cars. The engines are bought in from New Zealand, from Rips, and we have quite a good relationship with them, especially with the blue car. Constantly developing it and trying to make it go better all the time. But yeah, basically we look after both cars and through the air, any work that needs doing to them.
But what about that super long burnout from David Greenwald?
Well, what happened was because the tuner complains about me keep hitting the rev limiter on the burnout, they put a soft limiter on at 8,000 revs, and so when I went for the burnout, I started the burnout, but I hit the limiter even quicker because it's a lower revs, and I lifted off. That sort of stopped the burnout. I knocked the gear from second into neutral. And as soon as the car goes on neutral with the lumpy cams, it doesn't generate any pressure to support the brakes. So when I pressed the brakes, nothing was happening. So I'm sort of, I was almost in the embarrassing position of having to deploy the chute on the burnout.
Well, there were several more runs on the Saturday evening with a great improvement from Dave NICOL, getting nicely into the 10s with this run. And also a late evening appearance from Jeff Ludgate to get him on the ladder.
So I'm here with Jeff Ludgate. So Jeff, done really well a couple of weeks ago at 10 in the best, run a personal best for yourself. Here this weekend, we've had a couple of problems. What's going on with the car?
To be honest, I'm not really sure what the problems are. I've sent logs back to Abby, who've had a look at it. They can't actually see too much wrong with the logs. Everything seems to be working properly. I've done one more run, which was pretty successful. I was quite happy with that. What was that, last night? I'm losing track.
Yeah.
So we just got to see how it goes today, really. We've had a look at it. Mark's looked at it. Everything looks good.
Yeah, sure. So for this run this morning, are you going to go for it, or is it going to be more of a checkout pass?
No, this morning I've got to go for it, find out what's going to happen.
So it's Sunday morning, and it looks like Mark Moseley is warming up his car. After all, maybe it's fixed. Okay, Pro Class out first with Mark in the right lane and David NICOL in the left lane. Mark's obviously looking for a better time than his 10.73 of yesterday. The number one qualifier will going to buy into the final, and that's what he wants. This looks better, and he crosses the line with an 8.75 at 159, with the Supra slowing to a 12.03. Final chance for Steve Bowen to beat that. Nicely away, great launch. This is nice and clean for Steve Bowen. Not weaving this time, looking very good indeed. Going up to the terminal, crossing the line in a 9:06, 149. So close to the 8s now. Now on to the streets, and here's Jeff Ludgate in the Sherbet Lemon Skyline. And, oh no, he's stalled it off the line. No, it looks like he's almost stalled it. Has he stalled it? I don't think he has, but that is not a good start there for Jeff Ludgate in the Sherbet Lemon at all. Well, David Greenosh already #1 qualifier in street, but still looking for improvement. Nicely away. That car is arrow straight, and it looks like he's getting a little bit more out of this one. Recording an 850 at 160 miles per hour. But what happened to Jeff Ludgate?
Well, it didn't go to plan at all now, did it? Come down to the line, it seemed to be okay. I rolled forward, put it supposedly onto the two-step. It just wasn't really there. It was hitting the normal limiter. It did build some boost, but as I pulled away, it just lost the boost completely. And then, as you saw, I continued through the run eventually with absolutely no boost whatsoever. At this moment in time, have no idea at all what it is.
So Matt, the weekend started with problems. You thought you might have fixed them this morning, went for a checkout pass, but it turned out to be a flyer.
Yeah, we was weighing up the decision whether to run another qualifier because we'd already qualified and just wait for eliminations, but I wanted to know if the car was right. Yesterday the ECU was telling me something was wrong, so we thought we'd go out, give it everything, high boost, nitrous, and see what it does, and it turned out it was a good run. We'll probably stay with the power levels we've got. Now we should hopefully, with #1 qualifier, so I think we'll get a bye through to the final, which was kind of the plan. It was either do the qualifier, try and get a fastest qualifier to get a bye, or leave it and then go into eliminations and try and work my way that way, but it's kind of worked out well.
So a quick look at the qualifying times here, and unfortunately Steam's 9.0 in that last session was disallowed. Now earlier Steve Bowen spoke about setting the boost level, something he can do easily inside the car just before each run.
Steve, a great run again. What was the difference? You're playing around with the boost settings.
Yeah, yesterday basically I started off on high boost and a medium level launch, and it was too powerful for the track. And last evening I took the boost out, reduced the launch. I was running on a mid boost, and I ran a 9, a 9.3 and a 9.20. And I went out this morning, and obviously the temperature of the track looks pretty good as it's prepped as first thing. I decided to up the launch one and obviously go to a high set in a boost. I did my best. I got off the line, I launched it well. It went straight for the change, and I ran a 9.0, and I was very pleased. And a bit of luck later on, high 8.
Yeah. So going into the first round, do you think you're going to make any more changes, or have you got it in a good place now?
No, I'm going to make more changes. I'm going to turn it up again, right to the top.
Final prep to the cars, and it's time to get suited ready for the semi-finals. And first out in Pro will be #1 qualifier Mark Moseley with a bye into the final. And it looks like he's taking it very easy on this one. As we heard, he's still not convinced that the engine is 100%. Second pair, Dave NICOL in the right lane in the Supra, and Steve Bowen, the roofer. Now Dave has managed to get down into the 10s earlier on, but that 9.0 from Steve should give him the edge, barring unforeseen incidents. And a great launch there from Dave NICOL, but Steve Bowen has got this one fighting back. He seems to have it nailed over the line then. A 9.3 at 151 win up against NICOL's 10.86 at 129. Greenosh there has got a bye into the final. All he does is cut the beam, so he lines the car back up, doing a little burnout just there. Is he going to go for it, or is he going to take it nice and easy? Of course, he doesn't have to put in a fast time at all, just cross the line. But David doesn't do half measures, flying off there, arrow straight again. This is looking so neat and tidy and so consistent as well, crossing in an 8.56 at 159. Brent Crooks in the left-hand lane against Jeff Ludgate in the right-hand lane. Big burnout there for Jeff. Problems with Jeff's car earlier on. Is he going to be able to get away cleanly? That's what he's looking for. And Jeff is already straight off the power. Crooks will know this and looks like he's easing off as well, taking it nice and easy, crossing the line then to take the victory in 11.06 at 92 miles per hour.
So Jeff, you just got back from the first round, but just before we spoke to you before the round, you weren't too sure how it was going to go, but it didn't seem to go the best. Do you know what's happened to the car?
Well, we haven't had a lot of time to check it out, but if you have a quick look, you'll see there's all sorts of marks around the front of the turbo. The bearings have gone, something's gone on the turbo. We've got absolutely no boost, so we're having to pull out. It's as simple as that.
So, as the cars are ready for the finals, there was plenty more to see on track, including these two Portuguese visitors putting down the fastest ever side-by-side diesel-powered race in Europe, smoking all the way to mid 9-second times. Absolutely awesome stuff. Time for the finals then.
Here we go, final time at USC 2015.
First up, David Greenolsh in the right-hand lane. With that huge burnout, really extending it quite a long way down the track. He won't be able to see the start line there at all, but back he goes, lining the car back up, getting a nice bit of rubber down against Brent Crooks in the left-hand lane. Brent Crooks going up to stage already. David joining him. Lights are green. Oh, what's this? David's slow off the line there. Brent Crooks has got a huge lead. David starting to pin him back. That was a huge delay though. And David looks like he's got it. He crosses the line at 8.57 at 160 to win. David waits on the line for almost a second.
Yes, an interesting, competitive. And we tried to make it a bit more interesting because I promised to give him a 1 second head start.
Right, we didn't know that. So we were up there going, what's David doing?
Giving him a 1 second head start, but it was I was holding off and I said go for it, see how fast you can go, and if you don't see me pass you before the end, think about lifting off.
Right, I see, all worked out, but it's a dangerous game to play, isn't it? If you had a little problem there, it would have been a dangerous hiccup.
Oh yes. I mean, in racing we all know anything can go wrong at any time. You know, you could break a shaft on the launch or anything, but in the sense of if you try and make a race of it, it's better for the crowd and the public who are coming to see, as opposed to somebody just disappearing in the distance on their own.
You're the champion in here, but Glenn says if I win, I'm going to go back.
Pro final then, Mark Moseley in the left lane, Steve Bowen the roofer in the right lane. This one could be very, very close. And the lights go green and the roofer makes an absolutely fantastic start. Great reaction of him. Mark Moseley is pegging him back. Looks like Moseley's in the lead though. And he goes over the line. The roofer has it. Moseley with a 9.01 157. Steve Bowen there with a 9.14 at 154. A quicker reaction time won it there for Steve Bowen. So let's have a quick look at the points table for the two categories. And it's today's winners who are leading in the two classes. And a final word from the first-time winner in Pro. Well, I'm here with the winner, Steve Bowen. Fantastic performance. What a weekend.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. I was really chuffed with the result. I put 100% effort in, much as I could. Though I had some wonky and skewish runs, I come together in the end and I finally made it. And I'm proud of myself and really happy.
So you should be flamboyant, I think is the word we'll use.
If you want to call it that, yeah.
It's great stuff. Look, brilliant win. What a weekend. What great racing. We hope to see you again for the finale, Jap Show finale in October. See you then.